The Layla Show.
Ah,
Well,
something
we're gonna do it anyway. You're just gonna have to be
let's do it.
I love this. I'm just gonna welcome to the Layla Show. This is our guest, Andy Kozlowski. I don't know if I said it the right, and he didn't even know we were recording this as the actual episode. So let's fucking go. Um, wait. So
Oh,
you
oh my
so,
God. Can I curse on the show? Hi, everyone.
yeah, of
I'm
course you can curse on
Andy
this.
Kozlowski. Yes, perfect.
You can say anything. This is a whole free for all. Um, wait, so you're recording from Thailand. Where are you from originally?
Not Thailand,
Yeah, but where?
but I'm from Poland.
Poland. All right. I've never been to Poland, but I've been meeting a lot of Polish people randomly, so all good.
It's a
All right.
sign.
So how did you get to Thailand? So you do, but and like also you do like so many things. I was reading your bio. I was like, all right. You do a lot it seems like you do things pretty extreme too. You're like, "I don't talk for all these days. I go in a mountain in my shorts." Like, seems like you're doing a lot
Yes,
to the most, like, you're doing it to the most. So,
yes, that was the old me, like the old me without any balance. And that was the old me that was using all those things as a coping mechanism instead of embracing the truth. And the truth is, all of us are perfect. God doesn't make mistake, and that means everything between heaven and earth is perfect. And all I need to do is embrace that fact and stop fighting. Otherwise, the universe will fight back, and you will have conflict in your mind, in your heart, and your environment.
it's
And
true.
I was no different.
It's so true. I mean, honestly, like, the more we push against things or just, like, don't surrender. I mean, the universe has kicked my ass so many times for just being like, "I don't," not doing that.
In the right place and in the right time. So
Always.
yeah,
I mean, even when it kicks your ass, I don't even think it's a bad thing, but like you said, we're all perfection. Although we're all perfection. So whatever gets us to figure that one out is what it is, right?
in the end, there is no good or bad. The difference between good and bad is how we react to it. And those terms have been created by humans, so it can be used to grow their egos. But in nature, those terms doesn't really exist. So it depends on point of view. And with that being said, everyone has different point of view. So it's an illusion that we got attached to, and then we describe our reality using those words. No, you don't understand. I don't need meat. I'm a good person, and things like that. But it is an illusion.
Right. Yes, I agree with that. I don't think like there is inherently good or bad. I feel like it's all what you make of it and like what you take the energy to. Although I don't think you should be like an inherently bad person and do bad things, but like, does that really exist? I don't know if there is no good or bad. I don't know what that exists in. But I mean, karma is real, so I guess don't be shit.
Oh,
Don't be shit, but also, yeah, I mean, I don't think anything is inherently good or bad. We take, we take these moments and we're like, "Oh, yeah, that was so catastrophic," and then we categorize it as bad, but, like, I find the most catastrophic moments have been the best moments in my life in the long run. So, yeah, I mean, in that sense, I would say.
that's if we change the word good or bad to what serves us and what serves us not, it's a completely different game because when we use good or bad, we judge things,
I was gonna
and
say it's
then
attached to judgment.
we get into this game of duality that is keeping us away from our true potential.
I agree. So, like, you do all the how did you get to where you're at? Like, how'd you move to Thailand? What are you doing there right now?
Uh, I get there by plane. You wouldn't believe, but you actually cannot walk to Thailand from Poland.
Well,
That's not possible.
I would believe that, but like what brought you there? What are you doing over in that side of the world?
So say I'm wanted to backpack to Asia,
Okay.
but oh my God, that's so far away, and I didn't know that.
It's
It took me
how far
two
is
days.
it? Really far. Like,
It 2 days. This many. This
like
many.
without stop, 2 days.
Yeah, and I don't know how many time zones, but I think like at least four. So when I got to Thailand, it was so different. The climate was harsh. Like I was sitting in the room naked, sweating like crazy, like it was sauna. Couldn't really sleep of the time difference. And like, oh my God, do I really want to do this? If I'm gonna be constantly traveling, I'm not gonna grow as a person.
Right.
So all plants to grow need to have roots somewhere. And I'm like,
Right.
yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna have some roots in Thailand and grow. And that is exactly what is happening.
I love I love that you chose to grow somewhere that's so, like, uncomfortable in so many ways, though. You're like, "It's hot, I'm gross, I'm uncomfortable, and, like, fuck it, I'm gonna stay. This is what I'm doing."
Well, I wouldn't say I chose this life. This life chose me.
No, I don't think we
I'm like,
ever have we yeah,
I'm gonna go with the
don't
flow.
you definitely didn't. I mean, that's how I feel about where I'm at in this present moment. I do not even want to be living here, but it's like, I felt like you. I was like, I have to root somewhere. And like right now, I'm supposed to root, and I'm not fucking happy about it sometimes, but I'm not going to fight it anymore because I spent 6 months fighting it and that didn't get me anywhere. So, yeah, you got to root.
Oh,
But we
eh,
don't. We don't choose. Like it choose wherever we are, I feel like chooses us wholeheartedly.
like you said, God gives you like this slight nudges to have you in the place where God wants you to be. If you don't listen, it won't be nudges no more. It won't be gentle. It would be kicked you
It will be
out.
aggressive.
Yeah, and it will be more and more aggressive. But in my case, it was actually very gentle moving to Thailand. Like
Right.
Chiang Mai, I
It's
think
because
like
you listened. You didn't fight it. If you had fought it, it might have been aggressive.
maybe it's actually something I saw once meditating. I was for a business person. I'm still a business person, but I was like from different world completely. A high IT manager in a finance world,
Oh my God.
and I was doing that as a coping mechanism, I believe, because I'm highly sensitive, and that means doing the right thing for me is not only the right thing, but the only thing to do. But the truth is, there are so many people that would gladly stab you in the back just to get ahead.
100%.
And that happened so many times for me that I realized that people are bad and I'm gonna focus on money. So I got money, but it didn't really fix anything. My existence was like shallow, full of grief and sadness. But I'm like, no, I'm gonna become a head of department. And I started manifesting that. And you put your energy to it, you put your focus to it, you're gonna achieve things. This was no different. But I was like, oh, you know what? I'm not sure I want that. First of all, they want me to go to the office, and I would need to bring my bonsai to the office. And then the corporation is just another word that is used for slavery. They will force you to think what they want you to think, do what they want you to do. And like, I don't want to be this
No.
stuck up person with a stick up my butt. And I heard this voice. I have something better. Because truth be told, like I always knew that my destiny is to guide, serve, teach other people. And I have had it from so many different people, yet I was a prodigal son. So I started having these visions of pretty much being in Thailand, running daily to the park to train, going back to the temple to meditate, and then working, helping people. And this is pretty much what I do. And I realized recently that what I think about usually manifests in around 2 days or so. So in a one way, it's like, wow, that's so awesome. But on the other hand, what I think about manifests in 2 days or so. So it's like a
Yes, you have to
double-edged.
be careful what you wish for because you just might fucking get it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And what we think might be good for us usually isn't.
No. But that's the beautiful thing because like we don't actually know, like you were saying, like, manifestation is not just getting all these lovely things. Like manifestation is just that. Like you ask for something and it shows up. And like like sometimes we have to get everything we've wished for to be like, what the fuck is this shit? I don't want this. This is not like making me feel good about my life. This is not aligned with my values. This is not what my soul wants, but it's what I wanted. And then but like that's growth. And I think that's like an important part of the process because we think we know
Mm.
what we want. And but we never stop wanting. I never stop wanting, but it's like, when you can clear that path and get what you want and find out it's not, it's like, well, then you're forced to grow into like, okay, well, that wasn't it. What do I want that's more aligned with my soul? And then you ask for something else, and then that might not be it either, but it all leads you to it's all a path. It's all
Oh my
leading to somewhere.
God. Well, it's true. It is still a path, I suppose, but that path sounds like a dog chasing its own tail.
I mean,
Like,
yes. I feel like that's what most people do
like,
though, chase their own tail.
oh my God, they do. And I think that is because people manifest or want things from their ego while the
Mhm.
soul takes a backseat on this journey.
Right.
And the ego is just driving a car in the life and is not even looking left or right to the front or to the back. And like, that's a recipe for disaster.
It truly
And
is.
for me, I'm not even sure if I would use the term manifestation because I don't do nothing at all. I
Right.
think what I did, and to a degree I'm still doing, is letting go of all the heavy things that I have accumulated in my life and have created this friction between me and the universe because I want things to be this way, but they are that way. So I start to fight the universe. And that friction, that fight, cause heat in the body, which evaporates the fluids. People often call it the burnout syndrome
Mhm.
because, like, to illustrate that, if you put two people in the room, the other one is a regular dude, just like me, but the other one is addicted to cake and wants to quit eating sugar. So, as an experiment, you can put a cake in front of them and leave them for 10 minutes. Well, for a person like me, I don't really give a fuck if I eat the cake or not. But the person that is addicted, oh my God,
Well, he's gonna eat that cake.
leave him for
No
10
way.
minutes.
There's no way he's not eating the cake.
Yeah. But even so, he would exert so much energy fighting himself to eat or not to eat the cake. He would be sweating like he just ran a marathon.
Yeah. That's
And then he came like, yo, dudes, let's do some work. And the regular dude, like me, he can do work. But the dude that was struggling and fighting to eat or not to eat the cake, like, oh my God, no, I'm already gassed out. I have no energy. But this is the same event. And in one scenario, the person was fighting himself. And in the other scenario, the person was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go with the flow. Don't really happen what's gonna happen. And by that, you align with everything. Like you are no longer alone in this world. You, instead of being harnessing power of single grain of sand, you are a sandstorm in the desert, and you can go any direction you want. But this is a very tricky, because in order to really to have what we want, we need to let it go. And then the universe can do its magic, but we need not to interfere with the process, because let's say we have a goal to achieve, and there are so many different ways to achieve them goals, but we are so occupied with only one way. And the truth is, if that way would be actually good for us, we would achieve our goals,
Right.
but we didn't.
We didn't,
So it
exactly.
means,
There's,
yeah,
yeah, but that's the
so that means that way is not for us. And instead of pushing things with our ego, all we need to do is sit back and not interfere with the process. And it's very simple, yet it is anyway close to being easy. In fact, it's very hard, because we have tendency to think we need to do things, we need to thrive, we need to fight in order for our goals. No, that's most likely our belief. And our beliefs in the long enough timeline, all of them won't serve us at all. So it's about letting go, because beliefs are like a software in our PC called brain. And if there is a faulty software, no matter the input, the output will still be a mess. But what would happen if we would have no software? Would we be like a quantum computer itself? I guess we'll never
thing.
know.
We'll never know. I mean, I do wonder that too, though. But we literally will never know.
I just wanted to fuck with you.
Well, now I'm gonna think about it. I love being fucked with though, so thank you.
So like, I'm gonna give you a riddle.
Yeah, give me love riddles.
If you have a computer or like Google Chrome that all of us know that really works bad with countless of tabs open, what happens to the RAM usage? It spikes up. And what would happen if there wouldn't be any tabs? How fast would the computer run without any activity going here?
Would it run at all? It wouldn't run at all.
Like the computer that we call mind,
Yeah.
it is very similar to the computer, truth be told, because we use it to make decisions, process data, and it runs on electricity too. But unlike other computers, the electricity always changes. And electricity is energy. You could actually say it's a currency, because just like money, if you spend money on mundane stuff left and right, you won't have money to buy what you really want to buy. The same thing is with our brain, with our mind.
That's true.
If we spend our energy on mundane thoughts, well, there will be no manifestation, because where can we get that manifestation energy from? We either need to sacrifice something in our life, or we need to connect to the energy of the universe, which I don't actually recommend for everyone, because in most cases, like 99% of cases, that would lead to spiritual ego or Kundalini syndrome, which is basically too much heat damaging the internal organs and frying the brain, causing hallucinations.
Really?
Because yes, to channel the cosmos, it's so
I like to
all of
think I'm connected to universal energy, but I've never gone crazy or had hallucinations.
like
Like this is new.
all of us are born on a different incarnation level
Yeah.
that actually relate heavily to chakras.
Mhm.
And to channel the cosmos a person needs to be born on the highest level possible, because this is actually the highest level possible.
Mhm.
And when it's not, the energy is gonna be, let's say, for example, a person is born on the fourth incarnational level, which is the first incarnation of growing the soul.
Mhm.
So the person will be saying things like, "Oh, you don't understand. All is love is all you need, and you need to follow the heart." But they don't really understand that. It's about correctly alignment. I like to say that those people love to hate and hate to love because they are trapped constantly in this loop, and they don't seem to get it. They don't seem to be able to get away from that. So when they are born on the fourth level and they start to channel the cosmos, that energy will be stuck between their heart and their head, frank everything in between. Like rocket fuel might be the best type of fuel, but you wouldn't use it to tank your car. It's very similar, like building a house starting from the roof without any foundations. The roof will fall on your head in the least appropriate moment, probably when you're least expected.
Yeah, probably
And
having
that
dinner or
happens.
like doing something nice.
Yeah, and it happens a lot of those people because everything is possible, yet nothing is. And that creates so much friction between them and the universe. In some cases, it can even rape the soul, causing the incarnation level to decrease, which is very bad thing. And some people that might see even aura may be like, "Oh, they have white aura." No, they don't have white aura. That's white fumes. That's white fumes that is created from this friction between them and the universe.
Hmm.
And me as a highly sensitive person, like I don't like interfering with those people at all, because I recall this one time, like I have been talking, actually messaging on Matchmaker as well, that person. And she had completely, like, she sent me five same emails, five different pitches from one email. And she was talking about the angels, all of that stuff. And actually, the angels were the hallucinations that I was talking about. But
Ah,
just looking in that direction with my energy and attuning myself to her energy, I had the worst day in a month, literally.
oh my
Like,
God, that's awful.
yeah, like
I'm like
I have
afraid.
been
Like, what
losing
happens when
things.
you attune yourself to my energy? Is it that? Now I'm curious. Now hit me. Hit me with it.
Uh, I think you need a little bit of what they call grounding.
Yes, I do. All right. He nailed it. But you probably don't have the worst day ever around me.
Oh no, no, you're like hyper, what they call it, hyperactive.
I feel like people always tell me I'm like a little fucking fairy, like a mystical fairy. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much, always buzzing around.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it really depends if that's what you want, or
Yeah.
is that serving you, or are you using that? And that's like a super key question. Are you using that as a coping mechanism?
Yeah, probably.
And oh my God, you're so smart. Most of us have coping mechanisms that we are not aware. Like, you wouldn't even believe. Spirituality itself is a coping mechanism. Like,
Yeah.
I'm moving away from speaking about spirituality because, like, it's getting tough for me because I don't resonate with those people at all.
Well, yeah, it's
It's
become just like it's just become like another institution of like, yeah, it's become like a
uh,
societal trendy. It's become trendy in society to be spiritual.
not only that, but this is the ultimate coping mechanism. Instead of facing the challenges, they're gonna, "Oh, you don't understand. I meditate, I do yoga," and it's growing their ego only, not the spirit.
That's
You
so
cannot
true.
force a
I
flower to bloom.
talk to so many people like just like in life and they're like, but I get it. I meditate. And I'm like, but But girl, bro, like listen to yourself talk. Like there's so much hostility and everything coming out of your mouth. They're like, "Bro, get it, I see," and I'm like, I don't know what to say to that.
You don't understand. Now, there's
It's like, well, I'm not gonna be able to tell you anything. So like, have a nice day.
I'm gonna tell you like something that changed my mind, my life, my
Mhm.
approach to things.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I was a fool trying to change the world. Today, I'm a wise man changing myself. Like
Right, exactly.
I'm not even like if that person is okay with it. I'm not like because if I'm gonna there's two ways that you can know people. One is obviously was using your thoughts, and then like concept called mirror arise from, which is you're gonna see what you should see in yourself and what annoys you or something like that. It's not really a spiritual term
Right.
because it's not based on observation. And then you can observe and then you will know the truth. But observating have this downside that I just and in at least in my case that if I'm gonna observe someone, sooner or later I will have a thought, and sooner or later that thought will manifest, and I don't want that to be manifested in my life, especially observing spiritual people. That's a risk I'm not willing to take.
But okay, I want to talk more about the angels and the hallucinations because I feel like, you know, people need to hear about it. But because I feel like now that you're saying this,
So
this is just so many of people. And you know what? People, let's just call everybody out. I want to hear about it.
there are two peoples that work with those energies.
Mhm.
Exotists. I used to be exotist. I used to be delusional, and angel activators or whatever.
Yeah.
The difference is that exorcists are delusional, but not anywhere near those angel activators. And it all starts with the having too much energy in the head where you cannot correctly process it. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna start fighting the universe, and since you have so much energy that it's not grounded, it's gonna create so much friction that it will create those very small balls of energy that surround you in your aura. Back in the day, that was called angel dust. Nowadays,
Mhm.
it's called star seed as well, which
Yeah.
is yeah another example of hallucination. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's
Like you
good.
said,
I'm
there's
saying,
nothing good or bad or right and wrong, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Truth be told, all of us are hallucinating, and there's no other way around. But what we experience in this hallucination is real. But we need to realize that this illusion has been created by us, and
Right.
by
That's
us,
for
it
sure.
can be changed.
Like we created this. Like what would you like to see the world look like in a perfect world?
Yesterday, I was a fool trying to change the world. Today, I'm a wise man changing myself. I
Oh,
believe
hypothetically.
that everything between heaven and earth is perfect.
Yeah.
And me wanting to change the world would illustrate that there is something wrong with me, that I don't accept the things as they are. And this is what I would focus on. Like,
Yeah, because it's true. I mean, when you focus on what's wrong, yeah, outside of you, I mean, it only brings more energy to that in general. So it's not really
like
anything.
you don't you cannot manage something that it's outside of your reach. And for
Right.
example, those angel people, like they speak about angels, they speak about love, about the world, but just look at them. Their life is a complete fucking mess.
Yeah,
But they wanna change the world, they wanna do all those things, but their life is a complete mess.
right. You're not going to change anything if your life is a mess. Period.
Yeah, you should start with yourself. Like
Always.
with yourself, with your family, friends. Build it slowly, brick by brick, and eventually you will have a beautiful castle for yourself to live in. But we don't do that. Like, we want things right here, right now.
I
And,
know we want it all and we want it fast and we want instant
mm,
gratification.
yeah. And what actually happens, if you think about it, the world is based on duality.
Mhm.
So if you gonna choose the shortest road, guess what? It's gonna become the longest road. Because if you go long enough into one extreme, you will find the other one. So, like people that are very sick and very cold are feeling very hot. And when you go to hike the mountains in the winter, it's gonna become very cold to the point that it's very hot. It is the same with the growth.
Mm.
If you choose the shortest road, well, guess what? It's gonna be the longest road. But if you choose the longest road, it's actually gonna become the shortest road. I use it as a basis in my business. Instead of going forwards, I go backwards and it propels me to the future. Like you would have a bow and arrow, you pull back the
That's so
arrow
true.
for it to fly many, many acres in front. There's
Well,
also another way
it also makes me
you
feel
can
really
use it.
good about my life right now, but it does actually make sense because I've been spending this whole last year going backwards, and trust me, I don't fucking like it because I always took the short road, and now I'm like, oh, well, after all that, I had to go back and do it again, kind of. But that makes me feel better that that's actually a good thing because I'm not sure all the time. Not that good or bad, whatever. Fuck it. No good or bad. But but I mean, I'm just a mere human at the end of the day. I have my stupid human needs and my fickle desires,
Oh,
and, we're fucking human. I still want it fast and I want it now. I mean, I can't help myself.
mhm. There is another example of this. When I go outside to some other location, I'm like, I'm gonna use a shortcut.
Hmm.
Guess fuck what? I
Detour,
got
road
so
work.
lost. I got so lost that best case scenario is gonna take me twice as much time. So I realized I'm gonna use it for my advantage, and I'm gonna become lost on purpose, especially when doing business, when growing spirituality, and I will have no plan, so I can be found.
Yeah,
And I think this is the only shortcut that you can use in life.
okay.
I don't encourage anyone to do it because that's actually very advanced, and using duality is also very advanced because this is like the last lesson you can have in life. It's about attachment. I would rather encourage people to see what they still want and not interfere with the process.
Mm.
And the soul
That's the
itself wants to
easiest.
learn different things. Like, hmm?
I said that's the easiest thing to tell people, guessing. Versus,
Well,
you
it's
know,
the easiest, but def well, I think it's the simplest way,
simplest,
but
that's what I
definitely
mean.
not the
Yeah,
easy.
nothing's easy about
Yeah,
it is the most simple
yeah,
versus, "Hey,
yeah.
you go get lost. Hey, you."
Like it's not reinventing the wheel,
Right.
but we think things needs to be tough.
Mhm.
But if you go out to nature and observe like flowers bloom, the flowers doesn't think when to bloom. When it's ready and just blooms.
Right.
But we're like, oh, should I do this? Is it my time now? And all those thoughts interfere with the process.
Exactly, but flowers
So
don't do that because yeah, they don't flowers don't do
yeah,
that, trees don't do that, fuck, animals don't even do that, you know?
yeah, we're special, like literally in special category. And not always that's a good thing.
No, because I mean, I feel
So
like it's really lucky, like, to be a human being, but also, yes, we can use all those things to just breed complete and utter insanity and madness, like and we do most of the time, and it's a little funny. I mean, it's definitely quite
so
comical.
yeah, well, like what's important to understand, all of us are mad. literally no fucking exception. All of us are mad. Until you're enlightened, you're a mad person. In some cases, even a holy man is crazy
Well, there's levels to
because we believe in illusions.
right.
So if that is true, we need to understand this. So what? We we make mistakes. So what? And that will just ease like our internal conflict because mistakes are bound to happen. Like the only person that doesn't make mistakes is the person that doesn't do anything.
That's true. Yeah.
So
I mean, I think it would be completely ignorant and stupid to assume that you wouldn't make a mistake. But you're right, people don't. But there's no way. It's just not feasibly possible.
no way.
But like
Way.
mistakes, but we like you were like just to bring it all back, people like okay, mistakes are like related in people's minds to bad. Like there's all these things that are necessary and not bad at all that human beings relate to as inherently negative. Like they put here's the positive,
Mm.
and those things are all in the negative categories, but they're not. They're actually positive.
Oh, like let's say all you do is binge watch Netflix. There's not really much chance to make mistakes, but let's say you go out to the world because you want to grow. Well, there are so many mistakes you can make, but think about it that way. If you pray to be strong, will God make you strong or will He give you opportunities to make you strong? I believe it's the latter.
Yeah,
And
it's
on
gonna
this
give you
process, like,
opportunities because you can't, yeah, you have to do it.
yeah,
You have to do it for yourself. Like
yeah. And on that process, mistakes are bound to happen, and that's perfectly fine. In fact, if you want to grow, you could accelerate the amount of mistakes you have. I have been having something like I call the failure of the week, where I was just writing down all the failures that I was having during the week to see what I could learn.
so
And
what are your
I believe there
failures?
was one week.
Yeah.
To be honest, like this is scary because I don't think I have any. Like I think I could be on some uh magazine cover, but I didn't act fast enough. So I would say that my ability to integrate or my ability to make fast decisions was a mistake that manifested as me not being on the cover of the magazine. And I think like I always had issues with how you call it, not making fast decisions, but
Mm.
uh, integrating things.
Okay.
Like I always need to sleep on things. Always need to think of them. Like I
Well,
always need to
we
use my
have
mind.
opposite problems. I'm like, that's it. Let's do it right now.
Uh, where did you look at that? See how the world is beautiful and vast? Like we're completely opposite in that thing, and that makes perfect thing.
But okay, so that was your failure. You didn't get on the magazine. What magazine was it?
Yeah. I don't even recall right now.
Okay. But you'll do it next time. You have to act faster.
Oh yeah, like this is the direction I want to go. Like I want to have more radio appearances, virtual summit appearances, TV appearances. Yeah, so I'm going that direction now.
Do you have an agent or are you just like doing this all on your own?
I have a social media person, and at that stage, not looking to hire anyone. Like I'm a person that I like to do things my way, so I can learn because I then build frameworks, and frameworks work for me. So right now, I actually have been on TV. I actually have some radio appearances planned, and I have some virtual summit appearances planned as well. So like, I think if I'm gonna overthink it, I'm gonna mess it up. So I'm not gonna overthink it.
Yeah, just don't think about it.
Yeah, like
Take your own advice.
Yeah. I'm gonna plant a seed and put it into soil, put some water on it and some nutrients and let it grow
And
and
let
let
it
the it
bloom when it wants
fruits.
to bloom, just like a flower.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you gotta, but it's easier said than done. I mean, I've planted so many seeds and I get impatient when they don't grow. And then instead of like sticking with it, I go and I completely start something new. And I'm like, fuck it, I don't care about that anymore. But they still bloom because they always come back. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Everything always comes
Um,
back in due time.
so you're one of those person that how you call it like I need to translate that word. I need to check it.
We gotta translate the whatever. Whatever that was. Let's translate that. Yeah.
Uh hot hat. You're a hot hat.
I mean, like, because I'm not angry though. So like kind of hot.
Like
No, because I'm not angry. I'm like never angry. I'm just like I'm impatient and I'm impulsive and I like to start a lot of things and I have like little ability to sit and wait to see them through because I get distracted by something else that's shiny and I'll just go do that. I have shiny
oh,
I have shiny
like
objects.
a crow.
Yeah. No, like literally I'm a crow. Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting, but I have patience issues as well. Like, oh, big patience issues.
How do you deal with them? I think we like so many of us do. I feel like that's one of the fun. I mean, most of the people I've met in this life, like their biggest thing that they need to work on is learning patience. And I'm like, yeah, same sis. Like we're all in that together.
Mm.
I haven't figured it out yet. So
I don't like I learn patience by not learning patience, if that makes sense.
yeah, the let it go, ignore it. But that's
No,
why I
no,
have
like not ignore it, like because you still have it in your head. You need to see the pattern and dissolve it with your awareness in a way. If I'm sure that makes sense for you more,
yeah.
but like let's go deeper. Like
Yes, I like to
I know that's what she said. I know I have issues in my life if I plan things, and it can be anything
No,
that
same.
is not right here, not right now. If I plan, that's gonna be an issue. Like literally, and God always like tells me that, and God always like doesn't want me to plan and do things. Like a few days ago, I was doing some recording, and in my head, like I'm gonna go get a massage after this and eat in my favorite restaurant. But guess what? It started raining and I couldn't do that. So all of that energy that I invested in those things couldn't manifest, and it's like it got lost.
Yeah,
Instead, I could keep that energy to myself, be present.
that's true.
I definitely should meditate more and not plan meditation, just meditate. Like
Yeah, just do it.
I
Like
think,
today, I did in the middle of the day. I was like, you know what? I'm done with whatever I'm doing right now. And I just like just stopped. I was like, I turned the oven off and I was like, time to meditate. Yeah, no plans. But I'm terrible too. Like I can't plan things really because yeah, no.
oh,
I'm like a spur of the moment kind of gal. I mean, I mean well. To everybody in the world out there that I've made plans with and not followed through on, it's not my fault. Like
uh,
it's like not my fault. Like I mean well when I try to plan something, but just like you know, you'll plan something, you'll make the appointment, and it's like something happens. And the universe
forget about it. It happened. It happened. I wanted to ask you, how do you meditate?
so many different ways. Sometimes I just sit there. I
Hold on, hold on. I just plugged in my PC to electricity. I lost you for a few seconds.
How do I meditate? Well, today I did like a yoga nidra. But I don't know, many ways. I honestly like moving meditations. My favorite way to meditate is just like turn everything off and just walk.
I love moving meditation.
Like honestly, I just want to go for a walk. Like that's
I
my
love
thing.
moving meditation.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you do for moving meditation?
Tai Chi, Tai Chi Chuan.
I love
Um,
qigong.
yes, it's amazing.
Really good. I mean, I'm a huge fan of like Kundalini yoga, which is like I don't really call it yoga, but I would say Kundalini is way more meditation than yoga. But whatever.
Yes, yes, that's true. Yoga Kundalini is similar to esoteric Tao meditations, like the results, the end result.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you just move the energy. Yeah, it's very good. Like, also, I did have an issue with yoga people. Like, I'm not gonna lie, because when you look at it, once yoga got imported from the east to the west, and before that happened, like people wouldn't approach yogis. They wouldn't dare to do that because those are people going after supernatural gifts and abilities.
Mm.
So they were scary. And now it got transported to the West. It's lost its roots completely. It become another fitness class. It's about your yoga pants, about hardest
It really is
asanas.
about your yoga pants.
Yeah, it lost its roots. Like
Well,
the
that's
same thing happened with
everything
Kung
they
Fu.
bring to the Western world is just like they just obliterate it and they monetize it and they make it superficial and
A scam.
yeah, they make it
Yeah.
materialistic and that's just like it's just like a casualty of the Western world in general. What do you think about the supernatural gifts though? Is that bad to tap into them?
Well, it's a good question. I believe that you to play with it safely, you need to have at least your third eye open, be born on this level. Everyone can learn psychic gifts or abilities
Yeah.
in a way that is default level of understanding reality, but we have so many layers, so many programs that we lost those things. But being attached to those gifts won't do you any good as well. So I actually sacrificed lots of my gifts because I become attached to them and like letting go, not need that anymore. And I did let go mostly all of them. It
Okay.
sometimes causes issues for me.
What
Like
did you
I
keep any of
probably
did you keep any of them?
no, like I still have gifts, obviously, but I'm not going in that direction.
Yeah.
Sometimes I was using this as a coping mechanism because, you can read someone's aura and you know everything about that person, and then, it's gonna force you to flow into conversation in a particular way.
Right.
And it's a breathing pollution from yesterday instead of breathing a breath of fresh air. Because
Right.
basically I got attached to them, and anything that you got attached to is not serving you.
That's true. That's true.
What about your gifts?
I don't know. I don't I mean I can dabble in a lot of things. I think I got rid of mine without even trying to get rid of mine though.
Are you like a witch?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I don't know like I don't know what that really means though, you know? Everyone like, what does that mean? I don't even know what that means.
So like I'd say there's a wizard. I don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know,
Uh,
like, like, witchcraft, what is it? Just, like, cause I think it's just, like, tapping into, like, the elements and what's around you and energy, and really isn't it just, like, manipulation of energy?
not really sure. I think
I'm not sure
witches,
either.
I think from what I saw, witches manipulate the energy of the night or the dark energy.
Yeah, okay. Right. Mm,
And like the counterbalance element is the, I don't know if that's the right word, wizard, but most likely it's not. In Polish, it's czarodziej because he
Karaoke.
does things. Yeah,
I like
and
it.
this is very, 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 very rare. Like very, very, very rare. Very, very, very. And he manipulates like the light, not the light energy, but like, the sun energy, the light energy, which is counterbalance to what witches does.
Okay.
And it's very rare. It's about being in balance, actually. So
Yeah.
those two together are one.
Right.
And obviously you can manipulate the energies of the elements. It's part of those big things. And in a way it's easier, obviously. But on the call, the witches work with dark energy and the wizard work with light energy.
Yeah, I definitely work more with dark energy for sure. I like the darkness, but not like the spooky, evil darkness. I like dark stuff. I can't help myself. I've never been able to help myself. My
Cry.
my name literally means like that like beauty of the night. Like I am like of the night. Like they created me to be a night person.
Uh,
So like, but like I'm a very happy, bubbly person. I'm not summoning demons or anything like that. But like
uh,
I definitely like dark stuff more than light stuff.
well, if that's you, embrace it. Use it for your advantage.
Right.
Use it to serve you.
Exactly.
And that's pretty much it. Like, don't fight your nature.
Yeah, you
There's
can
not gonna be any
it's
benefit in it.
us. We can't fight our nature.
Yeah, like
So, like, if we wanted to work with you, like, so everyone listening to this, they're like, "This guy, I want to work with him." So, what would you like say that you? Because you do like, if you read your bio, you do a little bit of everything. So, like, what would we call upon you on those specifically? So, like, my listeners are like, "Oh my God, this guy's so cool. I want to fucking work with him." What are we calling you for?
I mostly work with people that are highly sensitive because I'm a highly sensitive person as well.
Mhm.
And I can pretty much fix all of pains and issues for highly sensitive people because I have myself been on the battlefield, been on the trenches, fixing those issues.
Yeah,
And I know how it's like when you cannot interact with others because you sponge negative emotions. I
yeah.
know what's causing that. I know how to fix it in few days. I know how to fix it long term because I have been dabbling and exploring things from the West to the East, seeing what works and discarding what doesn't. And if you're a highly sensitive person, you can just reach out to me on social media or my page. And you don't really have to book a call or anything. I have some free stuff, especially for highly sensitive person. I have some free courses, how to ground yourself, what's the difference between grounding and rooting.
I
And I
probably need the
believe that
grounding
itself would
one,
be,
like you've told me, but yeah, keep going.
yeah, yeah, I think you need rooting actually. Like
Okay.
rooting is better.
Okay.
Rooting is like this old concept from martial arts that enables you to be grounded at all the times because grounding meditation only work in the moment.
Mhm.
And when you interact with others, you're ungrounded and your head, your thoughts are everywhere else, but not in the body. And for highly sensitive people, then it's very easy to be overwhelmed by other people's emotion to the point that you would do everything to end the interaction, even sponging those negative emotions.
Yeah,
But then you go home and like, wow, I wanted to say something else. We're humans, right? I wanted to be perceived differently. Okay, I have a plan now. Next time it happens, I'm gonna act differently, say different stuff. Da, 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 and guess what? It happens. And we just freeze, our belly sinks, we stop breathing, we look stupid, kind of like a deer that's crossing the road in the middle of the night and see a car in the opposite direction. And that leads a very scary cycle of decreasing self-esteem, that can even lead to ourselves hating ourselves, resenting ourselves, and that's very big and heavy emotions to carry.
Mm.
So if you're a person that is struggling with those cycles, I can definitely help you with that. Process is actually very easy and simple. Well, it's simple, but all flowers bloom in due time, and it's about finding what's gonna work for you. And I have countless different tools and modalities at my disposal to guide you correctly in the challenges of life.
Okay.
So just reach out and we'll see what's best for you.
I love that because you're right. Everybody has like, and like I mean, literally, when I read your bio, you're like, I've dabbled in this, I've dabbled in that, I'm studying this. So it's like you really are like. I was like, I don't even know what the fuck to ask you about because I could literally ask you about all of these things for hours because like you're doing stuff I've literally never even fucking heard of. Like, what is the monastery thing? I was like, what the fuck? Like the Shaolin. Like I don't even know what that is. But I'm reading your thing. You're studying so much. So like I know for a fact you're coming with like so much backing and information and knowledge and wisdom, which is pretty awesome because I feel like I don't know, I feel like a lot of us study some modalities. You seem to really be dabbling in like as many as you can possibly put your hands in, and I love that energy.
Yeah, like I think I started to learn those modalities because I thought there was something wrong with me because I could feel energies, yada 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 yada,
Right.
experience reality through different lenses. So I started to search for this holy grail to make me whole again. But God doesn't make mistakes, and this journey was doomed from the day one. I needed to embrace who I was, and then all things started to unravel themselves. But learning those modalities was good, I believe, like a martial artist that is learning techniques. And eventually, if he knows enough techniques, if he puts enough repetition in place, he can operate on skills instead of techniques. And that is basically what's happening.
I agree, and I love that. And awesome. Okay, before you go, how's the food in Thailand?
Amazing, but very spicy.
I want. I feel like I need to come to Thailand just to eat soon because like I love Thai food so much. But
Yes, I highly encourage you to come to Chiang Mai. The
uh-huh.
climate in Chiang Mai is like the best because it's in the north and it's not really that hot, but it is still very hot.
Okay.
The food is very good, like literally very, very, very good.
Wow.
Very, very cheap as well,
Yeah.
but sometimes
Yeah.
very, very spicy.
Yeah.
Very spicy.
It's probably like 10 times the Thai restaurants we have here. I feel
Yes, yes. I think even more. Like like if they say it's a little bit spicy, it's probably
like
what I can handle at most.
okay.
And it's like it's little bit spicy. And
But
you
don't fuck with this Thai spices. Well,
no,
fuck with
no,
them, but
no.
know that you're at a level like 1 when they're because it's like
Yeah.
5. Okay, their level 1 is like a 5. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm like white level spiciness.
I like spicy, but I no, I'm still probably like a 1 in actual Thailand. So good to know.
Okay.
I won't be burning my tongue. All right. Do you have any messages for of wisdom for our
Uh,
before we say bye?
relax. Just bear with me for a few seconds.
Hmm?
Relax. Everything between heaven and earth is perfect. There is no reason for you to strive. When God made light, did he have challenges? Did he thrive? He just said, "Let there be light," and light there was. Use it as an example for you that you don't need to fight yourself or the universe. You can achieve things without that. Just embrace who you are, and it will be given to you.
Yay. Thank you. And thank you for coming and talking to me this this lady who needs rooting and hopefully doesn't transform your day into the worst day ever because it's your morning. It's my nighttime. So
That was
hopefully,
fun.
oh, yeah,
You're
what?
fun.
Yeah, thank you. I've been told I'm very fun. That's one thing. I got that going for me. I'm fun, but I don't know. A little flighty, a little like a crow, but always fun.
Crows are fun too as well. I like crows.
I like it too. But thank you. I had fun. That was very informative, and I'm glad we finally made it work because we tried this
Yeah.
so many fucking times. So yeah,
Believe in yourself.
I shall will and take risks. You
I
pull the
will.
trigger on things. I'll believe in myself, and you fucking pull that trigger when something calls. Just be like, "What would Layla do?" Layla would be like, "Yes."
Fuck yeah. Oh
Fuck
my God.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Regret it later
Okay.
if you have to. Like, there are times
Okay.
like, "Why the
Okay.
fuck did I agree to this?" But you know what? Just agree to it.
Mm. Okay. That was fun. Let's do it again sometime.
Absolutely. I know. I wanna pick your brain more, so you'll have to pick.
I will. But I have to go now because I have another meeting.
Alright. Well, you have a great rest of your day, and thank you for coming.
Bye.
Bye. The Layla Show.